time has come again. The champion must stand. It can only be one of us. Victorious! So stand up and fight, my friend. There's a title you must defend. Shut it on and on. Bring it to me. Defend your
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the DYM podcast. God, it is so good to be back in the studio with my buddies. My name is Andy Fiori. I am one of your hosts. With me, as always, is the lovely, talented, beautiful, well-spoken, pretty clean kept, Sean Donnelly, everybody.
That's the first time I've been called well-spoken in my life. I am a marbled-mouthed, mush-mouthed piece of shit.
I meant it. You get a lot of words in it quickly.
I talk fast.
You speak well fast.
Thank you so much, Andy.
No problem.
Hello there, DYM Nation. How are you? The dimwits out there. We are so excited to be back live in the studio, the Laugh Button studio. We have an awesome, you are our first
in a
guest
while
back, dude.
Really?
We haven't had a guest in like a year.
Fuck yeah.
So we could not be more excited to introduce our friend Gordon Baker Bone.
Woohoo.
Hilarious
Hey,
dude.
what up?
The Bone Zone.
Movieophile? What do they call it? A filmophile?
Cinephile.
Cinephile.
Yeah.
Cinephile. A
See how
fellow
well-spoken he
cinephile.
is?
Yeah, see? Yeah, there you go. I got SAT words.
Yeah.
I got the New York Times app. I just downloaded it. And don't.
I find this whole situation recalcitrant.
We want to thank you guys so much for listening. We are back in the studio. We're back for another episode. We're back in person, baby. And we have a bunch of stuff for you.
Stuff.
I watched a couple of things. I don't even know what to get to first. That's how much stuff we have for this week.
Well, you should ask her. Like, Gordon, did you watch anything this week? Anything new?
Yes,
Or-
I watched this drama western with Kevin Costner, Let Him Go.
If you said Hell or High Water, Shawnee's head would have exploded.
Oh God,
You love that movie?
love it.
What?
I think it's a classic. I think it's
Really?
an understated classic of the past 10 years.
Oh damn! Nah,
You've seen it, right?
Yes.
And what's your opinion on Hell or High Water? Well, let me ask you this, because you just saw that Western.
Yeah.
Going into Westerns.
I enjoy westerns. My dad got me into them,
Same here.
and over time, I've grown to appreciate them more.
Yeah, I think Westerns, as you get older, grow on you. I don't think they're usually slower paced.
Yeah.
You don't have the patience for it as a kid, maybe.
Yeah, I think so. They're super slow movies, but a lot of them. But the thing that Hell or High Water does, I think it takes it into this century
Yeah.
and does an absolute amazing job of being like a badass movie. Because sometimes you'll have modern day westerns. Even back in the 80s, they had, and it wasn't a modern day western where it took place now or in the 80s, but it was a Silverado. I don't remember. You remember Silverado?
No.
It aged well with time, but I remember back then it was like, who was in it? Like Dennis Quaid, Peter Coyote, Jeff Goldblum was in it, Brian Dennehy, a bunch of guys that now if you watch it, you're like, oh, this is like an old school Western.
Yeah.
But when it came out in the 80s, it just seemed like a modern movie that was trying to be like an old Western. But now that it's 30 years old, almost 40 years old, you're like, oh, now it kind of like gets better with time. You know what I mean?
I feel like they got better with time. Westerns get better with time because the older I get, the more I identify with the characters now. Just an old dude that just want to be left the hell alone.
Yeah,
With my horse.
Yeah, just me and my
a
horse.
relationship with my horse.
But I think, as far as modern Westerns go, like people sing the praises of Unforgiven, and Unforgiven's a great movie, but I think there's better movies out there.
Yeah.
As far as Western
Really gonna
go.
be mad at me here.
With what?
Never saw Unforgiven.
You never
Really?
saw it?
No.
I'm not going to get mad.
Best
because
Picture winner, though, if I believe.
It is, yeah. I'm not
And I
gonna get
usually
mad.
like to watch all the Best Picture winners.
Yeah.
That one got by me for some reason.
Not that it's a bad movie.
Clint
A lot of
Eastwood
hype.
directed?
A lot of hype around it.
Yeah.
I do that with films all the time. Like if a film has
sure.
a lot of hype, I specifically and make it a purpose not to watch that film.
Yeah, I think you're onto something. I think I'd still watch a lot of them, but I'm still going. I have a different lens as I'm watching it. I'm going, all right, this isn't living up to what people were telling me about this movie.
Like
You know?
everybody told me Avatar. That's the one movie I'm very proud I've never seen.
I've never seen it either.
Yes.
Yeah.
Same.
Yes. Oh, this is fantastic. We've all never
The
seen
hat trick.
Avatar.
Yeah.
I don't think I could have less interest in seeing it.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah. I had the same thing with Titanic for a while because I used but part of the reason
I saw it in
was
the theater.
one of the reasons
My school
because
made
you
us
were a
go.
14-year-old
Oh,
girl at
really?
the time. Is that
Yeah.
why?
I was a 14-year-old girl at the time. It was part of a slumber party. And we went home and we did that 4 loosely folding paper thing and told our futures.
Oh my god.
No,
Me and the girls.
one of the reasons I don't like Titanic, which I've mentioned on the show before, is I used to work at a Blockbuster, and that was a 2 to 3 taper. It was like 3
What?
days.
Oh yeah.
So
It was long.
Really
Yeah.
affect your
So
product.
you remember you had to take home 3 VHS tapes?
Yeah.
I totally forgot Blockbuster used to do that. That they used to like
Scarface.
They used to strap them together and like,
Yep.
yeah, start with 1, start with 2, and you had to
Exactly.
make sure they were in order because you didn't want to pop in.
So if you worked
The
there,
wrong
you
tape. It's
hated
Weird now.
You hated putting back Titanics because it was like you could get half the work done in the amount of time because they took up so much space.
I couldn't imagine like if you gave that to a kid now, if you told him to watch this film, you have to put in 2 different tapes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, yeah.
They wouldn't even get through they'd be like, what do I do? They
Tape.
would look at it like it's an alien. You ever see there's videos like that online? But that's going to
Yeah.
be a thing. I think people kind of know what VHS tapes, but they wouldn't know how to use them. You're right.
Exactly.
But
wonder if
they have
Netflix-
people who look at rotary phones, like kids that are 10 or 12, looking at a rotary phone. They go, okay, use that, and they're looking at it like
Yeah.
it's,
As
like
what, a
it's-
weapon?
They look at it like they're apes. They look at it like what's the thing?
Is this for home invaders?
Oh yeah. Yo,
Security
Those
apparatus.
old rotary phones had some heft to them.
Yo, they were
You could
so heavy. Like
Because I threw mine. Did you guys? We had that like 20-foot long cord.
Yeah.
'Cause my mom liked to go and talk to her mom.
That's the kitchen phone.
So one time I threw it at my little sister, clanked her in the back of the head. She got a big egg.
Ooh.
Those things carried some fucking gravity.
you almost
Absolutely
committed
did.
murder.
Yeah.
So back to the movie. You watched a Kevin Costner. It was like
Yes,
was it a
Let
modern
'Em
day
Go.
western or it was like from back in the day?
I think it was based on around I'm gonna say like the 50s, and it's also out in Montana, like Iowa area. So the whole story takes place back then, and it seems like it was a ton of vintage cars. I don't think I remember the year, but it was a ton of old cars, and so it was like not the 80s, not the 70s, so around like the 60s, between the 40s and the 60s. That's what I remember from the film, and I can just say what it's about, right?
Yeah.
go ahead.
all right.
Wait,
Whatever.
say the title again.
Let them go.
Oh, Let Them Go.
Let them
Yeah.
go. Yeah. So
Was it a custody battle thing?
No,
Yes.
I don't. Oh.
I saw the trailer.
Kinda is.
Oh, with Diane Lane?
Yes.
Yes.
So
I didn't see it, but
basically,
I know of it.
Kevin Costner and Diane Lane, they have his son. The son dies. I guess he falls off a horse or something, and he dies, leaving his firstborn son, his only born son, and his widow. And she decides to get remarried, and she remarries this abusive, kind of like family mobbish son who takes her from their house to his house, and like he's abusive to the kid, he's abusive to the mother, and Kevin Costner and Diane Lane figure out a way to get their grandson back.
Oh, so it's like a rescue mission,
Yes.
but for like a custody thing.
Oh yeah,
That's a cool plot. I like
oh
it.
dude, it's I thought it was going to be trash because like you sometimes
You never
just-
know.
Sure.
Yeah,
Especially with Costner, that guy.
yeah, it's very hit or miss. So I sat down, I was like, all right, cool. Let me just take this in. And midway through, I was like, all right, let me make some popcorn. This got good. So
Maybe I'll get a watch.
This is worth it, baby.
oh yeah, like if I know a film's good, I bought one of these like weird whirly poppers, like so I can make my own popcorn at home.
Yeah.
'Cause I miss going to the movies because of COVID, so I bought this stovetop whirly pop, so I make movie popcorn at home.
Like a movie style
Yep.
popcorn. Get
Sean's
outta here.
ears just perked up like a golden retriever.
Popcorn?
This guy's the same guy who bought a smoker and thought he could use it in his apartment. So popcorn machine is right up his alley.
yeah. Anything that might burn down my place, I want to.
Gordon, I used to live on 12th Street. Shawnee knows this story and the pod knows this story. But the move I used to do, instead of making my own popcorn at home, on 12th Street in the East Village, at 12th and 2nd, there's Cinema East.
Okay.
I lived in the building right behind that for 3 years. And I used to go there to see the movies all the time. But I'd walk by it every single day.
Yeah.
And so I would do the heads up to a few of the guys, ticket takers, security guards. So one day, it's like Sunday, I was like, I'm going to watch a movie. And a light bulb went off. I went, I wonder if they'll just let me buy popcorn downstairs and bring it back up here.
You've never told this
Oh, I never
story.
told you this?
No.
Oh wow.
So I went down, and one of the guys I knew was working. I was like, hey, man, yo, I'm Andy. I live upstairs. He's like, yeah, what's up, man? I was like, weird question. Is it cool if I just like buy some concession, buy some popcorn, and bring it upstairs? I'm like, I'm watching a movie at home. He's like, nope, doesn't bother me.
He shouts down the stairs. He goes, hey, that sad guy's here for popcorn.
Hey, you know that guy we thought killed himself? He bought popcorn.
Hey, get this. He's going back to his apartment.
Let them have
Yeah,
it.
what's sadder, going to the movies alone or buying popcorn and leaving
I
alone?
think that might take the cake.
Yeah, I
Believe
think
me,
that
I've gone to the movies alone multiple
Me too.
times, and it is kind of sad at times, especially when you're next to couples and shit like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But that's pretty sad.
But you get that. I go, yeah, lay the extra butter and all that stuff. And I just go, all right, thanks a lot, fellas.
And
That
he goes
would have
back to
weirded
his-
me out to see you walk out with a full bucket of popcorn. Just like, what is he doing?
I don't think so, because a lot of times you
People
take your extra
leave.
popcorn.
Yeah.
And they could have just thought I was leaving.
But it's not full.
It's not full.
But I had to.
Andy gets back to his apartment. He has a date set up in pillows.
Oh.
He makes a date out of pillows.
It's a sex doll.
So
Are you ready for our feature film, sweetie?
I have the concessions.
I went to the lobby, literally.
No, dude, I would. Here's the thing. I
Yo,
would have done the
'cause
same exact thing if I lived by.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? That's a dream of mine to live next door to
It
a
did-
movie theater.
The-
A dream of mine.
you know what got it? The popcorn smell permeated up.
Yeah.
We were
Yes.
only on the second floor, so it wafted
Oh, I
toward
couldn't
us.
do that
and that's
every
when
day.
I was like Pepe Le Pew, like my body lifted up,
That-
Yeah.
and I just sauntered down.
that line of smoke comes out, that aroma
Yeah.
line or whatever it is.
My nostrils get pulled like
Yeah.
a 1950s cartoon.
Oh, man.
Well, I'll tell you right now, I think some movie theaters, I think they do. Do they pump the popcorn smell out of the exhaust of?
I
Because you
don't
know who
know.
does that? Ever walk by a city? I think it's called City Grill or something like that, or a Capitol Grill. You know
Yes.
Capitol Grill.
Yes, I know.
I'm convinced they pump the smell of the food out onto the street. Because if you're within 1,000 feet of a Capitol Grill, you'll
Yeah.
smell it way better than any other restaurant, which is a really smart idea.
I think they might be doing that.
I think they might be doing it, dude. And I would fall for it
Yeah.
the fucking second at a movie
100%.
theater. I would absolutely fall.
Batting
for it.
average is 1,000.
That's
love-
funny.
Yeah, I love that smell.
Well, and
I'm shocked I never told you that before. This is one of my more genius
it's
moves I
ra-
ever did.
If you did, I can't believe I forgot.
I
that you
did it like 3 times.
That's where the sadness comes.
Yeah, I know.
But
Hey,
I'd,
good idea is a good idea. All right.
I'd be right there with you. I would absolutely be like, yeah, that makes complete sense.
Oh
100%.
yeah, totally. Because
it's better
movie,
popcorn.
It's I know I could go to the bodega and buy some Reese's.
It's not
but
the same.
You got the box.
Yeah.
and
It's
they're
not the
clanking
same.
around.
Yeah. But I want to tell you, I want to get to this before I forget, Andy. There's a running gag, not a gag, I don't know what you would call it on the podcast. We have a tumultuous relationship with the movie The Departed, don't we, Andy?
Oh, yeah.
On this
It's gonna come
show.
up. It'll come up
What do you mean?
on our second half of the show.
Yes, on
We got a
the next
big,
episode.
big surprise for
Yeah.
you guys. This is gonna be fun.
But absolutely, I did this. I was telling Gordon before the show. I rewatched half of it on the plane back from Minneapolis,
Yeah.
and I forget. I think I conceded to you a little bit with your argument that it stinks. You think it stinks.
Yeah, I hate it.
I gotta be honest, man. I'm getting more and more on board with the fact that The Departed. It stinks.
Yeah.
Like it's almost like a.
It's
like,
shoehorned
it
is the
does-
word that I use.
It doesn't feel like if you really watch it, it doesn't feel like a Scorsese movie.
No.
dude. It doesn't at all. Like it looks like a guy who was trying to make Goodfellas in Boston and messed up. Like it really comes off. There's good parts to it.
wow.
They have that Irish line that I love with the I'm Irish. I'll deal with
There's
something
some
being
fun
wrong
parts
forever.
because it's impossible not to at least get something out of that cast and that director.
Yeah.
So there's going to be good parts, but that I think is probably the reason you go with all of this. That was the final product.
Yeah.
And my other major issue is that I hated how it was a sorry we fucked up not giving Goodfellas and or Raging Bull best Oscar or best picture. We give you The Departed because it was like Dances with Wolves over Goodfellas and then Ordinary People over Raging Bull, which is like
yeah.
you got fucked and
Yeah.
now we're just giving you this because we feel bad.
You're right. It's like a concession. It's like a concession.
was the word I was
and,
looking
and
for.
they were like
Concessions.
Yeah.
Big theme.
Yeah. Popcorn.
Yeah.
Oscars.
There's
you
the
know.
title.
I didn't mind The Departed, but now
See,
hearing
but-
you guys talk about it, I totally forgot
It's
that
corny,
Scorsese did that film.
See, you would have known.
It's just got some like corniness that you don't expect out
Yeah.
of Scorsese, and like that ensemble cast is so great. You're just like,
What
I
happened?
don't know, dude.
And you never want to
Fucking
say
rat
with
at the end
a
is so
Scorsese movie, the fact that you even just said, I don't mind The Departed. Like, you
Yeah.
could be like, either have.
yeah, but
an
I know people
opinion-
who go to bat for it. Like, this is one of the greatest, gangster.
I would never.
Mafia
I wouldn't
movies.
say that. I wouldn't go that far. Is it a good film? I think it's good, but it like now. Wow, the facts that you guys just said to me,
Oh,
you had
that's
to blowing
just
my mind about this
scratching
film.
the
Now I'm
surface.
just like, oh man, you really thought about this a lot, haven't
Yeah,
you?
we have.
You know what it was? It's
On
just-
paper, it's supposed to be a thing that like guys that look like us would like love.
I
you know
think
what I mean? Like
people think they're supposed to like it because it's just like
because it's Scorsese, it's mafia,
It's not that great.
It's the Whitey Bulger thing.
Just
it's-
because it has a lot of your favorite people or involved or actors or whatever doesn't mean you got to like it, and doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be good, which happens a lot. You go, well, it's, so-and-so, it can't miss. It can miss.
Yeah, and it definitely, like the
Definitely
whole,
missed on that one then.
the storyline with him and his relationship with that woman, which I think there's supposed to be a subtext to that. I think it's supposed to be that he can't get hard. I think that's what it's supposed to be. You know that, right? I think it's supposed to be that he can't get an erection or something, because she makes multiple references to it. And I think he's like, the fact that he's acting this way is a overcompensation for how much he can't deliver in the bedroom or something. Because even they have the hooker scene.
Matt Damon's character.
No. Jack Nicholson's character.
Oh yeah, of
Matt
course.
Damon as well.
Oh, I thought Jack Nicholson. Yeah, of course. When he throws the coke in her pussy, he's like,
he's like, go at it. Like they don't show him fucking, they just show him throw the coke in her pussy.
Yeah, for sure.
So he's watching. He's fucking up everything around him. He's fucking up lives around him. He's even in the bedroom. He's just he's watching. You know what I mean? Like he's just kind of pulling the strings. Yeah, exactly. And that's supposed to be a real provocative thing. It just comes off kind of weird. It doesn't have. Also, it's supposed to be the Whitey Bulger story. Like if you're gonna go the Boston route, go the Boston route. Like there's movies that he could have pulled. If anybody could have pulled it off, it's Scorsese.
I know, but they tried way too hard. Like I said, shoehorned is the word I use. It's like you got to get Wahlberg in there and fucking do his like. I'm the guy who fucking works. I'm the guy who does his job.
Yeah.
Who are you? Like, or that might even.
But at least Wahlberg knew his note and he did it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Wahlberg is just a moving part in that movie. I'm saying overall, it's like Scorsese, like you should have knocked it out of the park with this thing, really. And it was like an adaptation of Infernal Affairs, right? Or what was it again? Wasn't it? It was basically like a remake of another.
Infernal Affairs or Internal Affairs?
Infernal Affairs is like.
Wait, I thought Infernal Affairs was the.
Was that Reservoir Dogs? That's Reservoir Dogs.
Oh.
Reservoir Dogs is a retelling of Infernal Affairs.
It's funny you brought that
up.
up.
Japanese movie or a Chinese movie, I think.
Okay.
I know we know facts on this podcast, but it's very sketchy.
Loosely based facts.
Loosely based facts. But before we started talking about it, you were even like, I liked it, but whatever.
Yeah, it was
Infernal Affairs was The Departed.
I totally.
It was The Departed. Okay, Infernal Affairs The Departed. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, like I got to rewatch it now and see if I still have the same feeling about it now, because like I thought it was like a good film. I fell in love with all the actors that was in it. Alec Baldwin was in it. Jack Nicholson was in it. Just like
Wahlberg.
all right, I was just who else was in it?
DiCaprio.
Anthony Anderson had a role in there.
Yep.
So I was like, all right, this is solid. And now I'm looking back at it like, maybe it wasn't. Maybe I was I fell in love. I drank the Kool-Aid on that one.
There's parts
I think
to
a lot of people drank the Kool-Aid.
There's great parts to it. There's shocking part. It's been out for 15 years. What is it? 12 years. When DiCaprio eats it, that was out of nowhere. You don't expect that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When he off the elevator gets shot in the head, that's like when the reveal of the other kid was also being played by Frank that's a big reveal. But overall, if you really put it all together, it's like it missed the mark. It definitely. I don't want to spend the whole podcast on it. I just wanted to tell you that I would never come fully to his side at a full on like stink, because he's basically at the point where he's like, it stinks. Like you were basically like, it stinks.
Yeah, it's
okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine, but it's not really. You know.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give it?
I'd give it a 6. I think
5.
6.
5.5.
I'd give it a 6.
Okay.
I'm coming down to 5.
Okay.
On a daily basis.
5 and change.
5 and change.
Let's hear what you watched, Andy. Then we can get into our big idea for the show here.
Well, it's funny you bring up Reservoir Dogs, because I was talking to our pal, another movie cunt, Joe List. I think he'd be the first to admit he's a cunt about movies as well.
I'll tell you right now, it makes sense. The Departed was an Alec Bald loss.
Yeah, it was a bald loss. Thank you.
Because he was in it. We need the graphic.
It's our score meter. Bald winner or bald loss? Bald loss.
So now each movie.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. We didn't ask you this. Let them go. Bald win or bald loss?
Oh, just a winner.
Bald win.
Yeah.
Bald win.
So it's Alec Baldwin with hair. We have we had a graphic last week of bald Alec
Coffee
Baldwin.
is for closers,
one of the
baby.
fucking things I've ever seen.
Coffee is for closers.
Sorry, go ahead. So you're talking to Joe List.
So List was telling me about this movie, Blue Collar, from 77 or 78, starring Pryor and Harvey Keitel and Yaphet Kotto, who's in a very young Ed Begley Jr.
Okay.
And he was raving about it, and I watched it last night, and I went, all right.
Well,
I'll tell you, dude, Richard Pryor was a great fucking actor. Like, a natural actor, man.
Really?
He was really good. So here's the thing.
Oh, not that Fave's a good actor, but like I haven't seen this film, and now I'm kind of interested in
It's
seeing
cool to see. It's a good timepiece. It's about 3 Detroit. They work for this checker car manufacturer. They manufacture cabs. So Detroit guys who work on the line building cars, blue collar dudes, and they keep getting fucked by their union. And they make like $200 a week. They got kids and wives and all this stuff. And kind of an old plot, or maybe not back in the day, but they decide to put a scheme together to rob their union.
Mhm.
That's the plot.
Mhm.
And then I won't tell you how it ends. No spoilers here. But it's funny you brought up Reservoir Dogs because of Harvey Keitel, because I think Tarantino is so adept at doing this. There's a scene when Harvey Keitel is talking one-on-one to a dude, like in Reservoir Dogs when he's talking to Steve Buscemi, and he takes out a Zippo and he snaps it and he closes it back. And it's like a very pronounced thing that Harvey Keitel does.
Okay.
And it immediately thought of Reservoir Dogs when he makes that Zippo
way
scene.
that's
I go,
not on purpose.
that's got to be a thing Tarantino saw, and absolutely as an homage.
I guarantee you, Tarantino asked him, "Can you do the thing from White Collar where you snap the Zippo?
Do the Zippo blue collar
Do
thing.
this," and he knew it. And I guarantee, and he's probably done it maybe.
It
in one
was
other movie, but
identical.
I guarantee.
Oh.
So that was just kind of a cool thing. I give it a bald win because toward the end, I was just like, okay, I didn't kind of see that coming. And it plays on like race relations a little bit and pitting, blue collar guys against each other. So again, I don't want to reveal anything because I would recommend it. But
Okay.
yeah, good watch. Good to see young Keitel before he's really like, he's a good kid. Like you can hear
You can see Mean Streets Keitel.
Mean
He's pretty
Streets
young.
Keitel. Great. Like Richard Pryor was super impressive. Yaphet Kotto, you forgot how great he was.
He's awesome.
Amazing.
He's
yeah.
awesome.
And a little slow pacing wise. That was my knock on it. It was like it was just under 2 hours, but like an hour and change in, you're like, let's go here. Let's get this fucking scheme happening.
I think that was the MO because there with a lot of 70s movies, I think they were like, we're building to something here.
Yeah.
I think the attention span thing became
Yeah.
a modern thing where, hey, you get to the action right away. I think you could kind of develop characters a little bit more in these 1970s. People, I think the public just they were willing to take the ride a little bit more. I think now, but now they're like, you better get to it.
I feel like that would Let Them Go. Let Them Go was very quick.
Yeah.
They got to it very quickly.
Yeah, I think you're right, Sean. That's our attention spans. Like,
Yeah.
I was looking at my phone the whole time, going, "All right, let's get to it. I'll be on Twitter. Wake me up when something happens."
Hell or High Water gets right to it. A lot of movies get right to it. Yeah. I'll do what I watched real quick.
right, sir.
I want to see if you guys if you watched it. Great. I liked it. Maybe a little bit lacking. Maybe pace wise. Maybe it could have been a little bit condensed. I don't know if you guys have seen this Foxcatcher
Oh yeah,
No.
with Steve Carell and Channing Tatum. And Mark Ruffalo, who might be one of the best things I've seen Mark Ruffalo do.
yeah, he's good.
He plays Dave Schultz. So Mark Schultz and Dave Schultz, these two Olympic wrestlers from the 80s.
I heard of this.
Dave Schultz was known as more of the superstar.
It's
Mark
a true
Schultz-
story.
Mark, it's a true story about John DuPont, the heir of the DuPont fortune.
Down in Delaware.
Yeah, exactly. And he wanted to start basically a wrestling on his farm, not a wrestling, even a camp, like a training camp, basically for Olympic athletes. And I think the real target was Dave Schultz, but he couldn't get him, so he went through Mark Schultz, who was Channing Tatum, had nothing going on. He was doing like talks at elementary schools for $25, and that's how they started off. And it's really slow, and it kind of has a Clint Eastwood vibe as far as the direction goes. It feels like an Eastwood movie, but it's not. I forget the director's name. It has that vibe to it. It has a very ominous vibe. It's one of those things you're watching it the whole time, and the tension is building, tension the whole entire time. I won't tell you what happens, but it was good. It's definitely worth checking out. It is a bald win. And I will say, man, I like if you have a movie, this is how you can tell a great actor, and they pull off changing almost like their cadence of talk, their gait, like they really get into it. Like I don't know if Mark Ruffalo's method, I got to be honest, I don't think he's probably a method actor, but I knew the other example I think of when I think of somebody changing so much is Joaquin Phoenix in The Master, where he literally just almost like changed his DNA to become that dude. He's hunched over, he walks different, he's a different guy to me watching him. Like it's still Joaquin, but not really. Like I think he did such a transformation in The Master. Ruffalo reminds me of that in this because he kind of does this like. It's a little bit hunched over. He has like this like bow-legged and bold-armed kind of thing where he's kind of like he made himself look more stocky.
Yeah.
Like you would think an Olympic wrestler would walk around from bending over half his life.
Right,
you know what I mean? From being in 1,000 matches a fucking year. You know what I mean? So that alone was one of the best achievements of the movie for me was Mark Ruffalo in this role. Like I always thought the guy was a good actor, but this made me respect him so much more.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
And it's a really tragic story, but check it out. Definitely check it out. It's a Baldwin, Alec Baldwin with hair. Definitely check out Foxcatcher. The story is nuts. And I think for like people that are, I guess, I don't even know if professional wrestling fans would be a fan of this, but I guess it's wrestling. You know?
I mean,
that might be a stretch.
It might be.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good story. Like,
So like, is Vince in it? Then no.
so on a personal level, I always knew this story because I went to Villanova and our basketball pavilion on campus was donated. The DuPonts were big Villanova people. Like Pennsylvania, like that area was that's all, that main line area. And
they're like old money.
Money.
Yeah.
And when all that shit went down, they took the name off our pavilion. It was like we just called it the pavilion for years.
Oh,
It used to be years ago, you're playing on campus. Yeah, we're at their games at DuPont tonight. Or like,
So while you were there, the name changed.
Name changed, and now it's Finner, and now it's the Finn.
Did they just tell you guys not to say the name?
No, well, yeah, they go, well, what are we going to name? They just go, we just called it the pavilion. Literally, it was like a seamless change.
Where you guys going? To the building.
Yeah.
Where you guys going?
The
That
arena.
place over there. the name it's the Voldemort of your college. We can't say his name.
Yeah. Everybody just kind of went along with it. It's not like today where like you'd have holdouts being like, no, it's DuPont. It's always going to be DuPont.
Yeah. Which I'm sure happened at a couple of schools with some other shit. UPenn, whatever that place is called. Anyway,
Miller was the director.
What's that, Mike?
Who was it?
Bennett Miller.
Bennett Miller. Yeah, Bennett Miller. I don't know did you see it, Mike?
No, I have not. But Mark Ruffalo looks like Kevin James in it.
He does. They give him a beard. They give him the balding hair. There's the glasses.
Yeah.
He puts on a little bit of I wouldn't call it an accent, but an affect.
No, there's
voice.
definitely that like Pennsylvania main line.
Yeah, and he's great in it. And it's
It's a good cast. Carell's good. Channing Tatum's a decent actor.
Carell's a great actor.
Carell's really good.
I think with guys like that, like it's one of those things like it's great we got Carell because of comedy, but is it possible to bust out of comedy anymore? There's guys who busted completely. Look at Tom Hanks.
You just took the words out of my mouth.
But that's from back in the day, dude. Can Carell, because I think it has to happen at a certain age for these actors.
Yeah.
You have to crack out of it by the age of 30 or 35 in order to go, we take him completely serious. Because he was a goofball comedy. I'm in Bachelor Party.
Yeah.
I'm in even Punchline, stand-up movie. But that was the beginning, and that was a crossover. It was funny, but also there was dramatic.
Yeah.
A guy like Carell, he's such an iconic comedy character. I don't think he'll ever not be thought of that. He's an unbelievable actor. I would say he's as good as Hanks. Like he's that good. He's a chameleon. He can go all over the place.
Yeah.
So the question is, because also the way the actors, they used to be able to do is, you got them in doses. You don't have them all the time. You don't have clips of them constantly on your phone.
Yep.
The Office spoofs,
right?
The bloopers from The Office constantly streaming on your phone. So you were able to like forget what Hanks was and to re-enjoy him in movies. And then now you're like, okay, that's dramatic Hanks, and now he's just dramatic Hanks every movie. And now he's like this classic legendary actor. Guys like that, you know what I mean? So. Like, can you break out of it now? And I think you probably could.
Yeah.
I think it has to happen at a certain point in your career.
Well, it hasn't been that long since Carell was, it's still pretty recent.
Yeah,
What?
I think he's like one of the younger ones. Like, I wanted to say Jim Carrey did it flawlessly. I take him more as like he can. Be
I like
super
him.
serious.
I prefer his.
I just think he struck out. I think he fucked himself over.
Here's another one. I tell you who I much prefer his dramatic to his Robin Williams.
Really?
Yeah,
He did it. Robin
I
Williams did
love
it, but-
his dramatic stuff, and like sometimes
I
you're
like
just
it also.
It's over the top with the comedy stuff sometimes.
He's really silly comedy wise, but he's Good Will Hunting. He's fantastic, and Awakenings. He's fantastic.
1 Hour Photo.
1 Hour
1 Hour
Photo. That's
Photo
the name of
is
the movie
great.
I was trying to think of.
Yeah, 1 Hour Photo is really good, and Insomnia is good.
Insomnia is not bad.
But he could do it, and I think then he did some comedies later on. But you were able to take him seriously. I think Jim Carrey to me
is always going to be silly.
I mean, I like the Truman Show is probably as far as those. I mean, Dumb and Dumber is obviously Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah,
but then like I like the Truman Show.
Eternal Sunshine.
Eternal Sunshine.
Yeah,
that's the best. That to me that goes above and beyond everything he's done dramatically ever. Because he did a thing called, I think he did In the Glow. No.
What was the Majestic?
In the Gloaming. He did a
shit.
TV movie where he was dramatic, something on Maple Street.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it was supposedly really good. I think I might have saw one.
The Monsters on Maple Street.
No, I don't think that's
It's an old Twilight Zone episode.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's like the one where like hysteria gets the best of them, and it's like maybe you're the monster. Like, maybe it's a very famous
I think I've
Twilight
seen
Zone
it.
episode.
Yeah, they're all in the street.
Yeah.
But I think that Man on the Moon screwed him over. Also, the fallout from Man on the Moon, where you heard all those interviews of people who knew Andy Kaufman being like, yeah, Andy wasn't like that, dude. Like because he was like playing jokes on people and being annoying, giving people shit, and like really being a prick to people on the set of Man on the Moon.
Yeah.
And you have like Jerry Lawler and all these people being like, yeah, I was in on it too. Like Andy knew that we were friends. Like, what are you doing? Like, they were like, yeah, it wasn't good. Like it wasn't. Yeah.
All right.
And I think Jim Carrey was a guy. I have a bit of an issue with Jim Carrey because
he's not my favorite.
He went from the guy who wrote himself a $20 million check because he was going to be famous, whatever it was, or $1 million check in his wallet because he's going to be famous one day.
Gross.
He went from that guy, which is like, okay, that's your goal, to now he's the we're all particles guy. Fuck you, dude. You made $100 million, $200 million, so now you're done being the I want to be famous guy.
Yeah.
Get out. I'm sorry. Like you can do what you want. But I'm not gonna buy into your journey.
I just like that you're rejecting them so adamantly.
Yeah, fuck off. Because you and generations of your family, you were broke, man. You made something out of yourself. Good for you.
Yeah.
And you're a funny dude. And you're great.
Yeah.
But don't pretend like that wasn't your goal the entire time. And now you're gonna be the introspective guy. Come on, get out of here. Fuck off. Get out of here. Seriously. It's like I'm never gonna trust a millionaire to be like, wow, I'm really gonna take to heart what that billionaire said.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Shut up.
Oh man.
All right, we got to get moving on our project here.
We should start it. I don't know if we'll make it. What time is it now?
Well, we gotta. So we will. If we are diligent.
Yeah, we're at 31.
All right. Thank you, Mikey. Perfect.
Thank you, Mike.
Mike's good.
Yeah, Mike's the best. That's old Buster Palm over there. So guys, I was going through old emails and I was cleaning out my inbox and I saw this thing I emailed to you like 2 years ago and I go, yo, this would be really fun. And we just forgot about it. And I found the email again and it's basically the most, I'm going to say the most watchable is what they call it, but I'd like to even rewatchable.
Yeah.
We should basically call it the flip test. We have a thing on the podcast called the flip test.
Well, no, because you're going to have losers that are flip test movies. In here.
Yeah. But, okay, so they call it most rewatchable.
Yeah, like.
But we have a thing called the flip test where if you're watching something,
if you're stuck,
the thing you go back to. Like you'll get on it, then when the commercial comes on, you're going boom, 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 and you're like, I gotta flip back. I gotta flip test this thing and go back to is it past the flip test or not?
One other thing I watched this weekend, which I thought was I was at Mohegan Sun this weekend in Uncasville, Connecticut, on the reservation.
I think you're the only one that's ever said that correctly.
Yeah.
So I drove home to my mom's house in Jersey, and the next day on Sunday, Last of the Mohicans is on, and I never saw it. I just never saw the Last of the Mohicans. So
you felt like it was
Shawty
a sign?
just put on glasses and it made me laugh. I don't think I've ever seen him face to face. I don't know.
Weird, right?
But his brother, Hawkeye, Daniel Day-Lewis's brother, is Uncas. That's his name. And I'm like, Uncasville. Uncas.
Oh, wow.
The Indian brother is Uncas. And I go, look at that.
Huh.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's got to be it. He must have been.
Good little movie. It was,
I never watched it. That's one I never watched.
me
I
either.
have no interest.
But I was speaking of method guys. I mean, it was.
Oh, well,
D-Day.
come on. Talk about
D-Day
you want to talk about the GOAT? That's a GOAT right there.
So, yeah, we got
he's a guy who says he's retired that I think
I
he's
agree. He's going to get the itch.
And also, speaking of somebody else who's retired, Gene Hackman, who I thought might have been ill, he's been retired for 17 years.
Yeah.
Lives in, I saw a tweet
retired
today, I
for
retweeted it. Yeah. I think Heartbreakers was his last movie or something like that. Retired for 17 years, lives in New Mexico. He's fine, hangs out, rides horses, plays tennis, does all this stuff. And they had a picture of him online. I retweeted it on my my Twitter. So I guess he's
Great.
fine and just hanging out. He's like 91. He's doing great.
Yeah.
Wow.
Would you want to do a movie at 91 if you were an actor?
No.
No, but it's like they're like comics. Like good
They
to
don't
know when
stop.
to get out,
Yeah.
and just it's like because you don't ever think of that. Like if it's not like a 9 to 5, you don't think of it as retiring because it's like, well, you're not clocking in every day. So is it really
But
retirement?
I think
But-
he did. He was like a real badass. Where I think he did have. He was a mentality where he's like, when I'm done with this, I'm done. Like he was a pretty assertive
because
guy.
it's so easy to just be like, well, I'll just work less when I'm older. I won't necessarily not make movies anymore.
Yeah.
It's a lot different for just be like, I'm done and I'm out.
and some of them.
And
Just wanna
Daniel
get out
Day-Lewis
of
is still
Hollywood.
relatively young. He's what 60s?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's start.
So we got a bracket
yeah.
that we're gonna go through. It's the most watchable movie ever. All three of us filled one out. Mikey, did you fill one out?
No, I gave the 3 to you guys.
All right. Well, it'd be a team player. I'm just gonna.
Should we just really quickly? We all filled out the one side. That's what we're gonna do. Left
Well,
side.
Yeah.
You do the whole thing. Okay.
No, I just. Oh,
I didn't do the other side yet.
Yeah.
well, we're gonna have, but you got to go Sweet 16. You can't do one side and not the other.
What do you mean you can't do?
You
one?
got to do.
What are you talking about? You,
I guess so. I guess you can.
Yes, you can.
I didn't fill
They
out
don't-
the
They
whole
don't match
thing.
up until the end.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll do the. We'll
do
get
the
to
left
the final
side.
4
Yeah.
of the left side of the bracket. Maybe we can even we'll tweet it out just so you guys can see the bracket what we're working with. But man, there are some matchups in here. I'm going.
yeah.
Why
That's
you got to
really
make me
good.
choose, dude?
Some of them are gimmies. Some of them
Some of them are gimmies,
yeah,
but some of them are, like I said earlier, the Sophie's Choice. I go, you can't. Sophie's Choice on here? No. It's impossible for me to choose for some of these.
Okay.
yeah, I got to that point.
So, Gordon-
I got to a stopping point that I'll talk about.
I guess you can kick it off. You want us to kick it off top left?
All right, top left. You got Butch Cassidy going against Princess Bride. For me, Princess Bride.
Yes.
Ooh, Butch Cassidy for me.
Ooh.
Andy does not like Princess
Cares.
Bride.
What?
He's
Yeah.
not a fan.
Departed of comedies.
I am also a Bride guy. I'm
Okay.
a Bride stan.
All right. So I guess there's no we can't keep any sort of score because
We all just did it ourselves.
yeah.
So do we? You want? We have 3 guys.
Yeah.
You want to do
Popular.
popular
yeah,
vote?
popular.
All right.
So
okay. So then we just cross it out.
Yeah.
You do it on yours.
Yeah,
If you can
Princess
cross out.
all right. So
Princess Bride wins that one.
Princess Bride moves on. Okay.
And then we got The Thing going against The Empire Strikes Back.
I think it's gonna
Empire.
be a clean sweep here.
I think Empire.
I went with The Thing.
really? I mean, the
Yeah.
thing is great.
Can you really quickly? Can you explain why?
When I think about rewatchable movies, I like something fun that I could just like pop on, get anything out. I'm thinking
Wow,
about like
The
the
Thing
day
is
after,
fucking
like
crazy.
drinking and like, oh, like holy shit, I'm just gonna lay here and watch this and enjoy this. And The Thing is something that every
Damn.
single time
Wow.
I wake up and
I
like,
think, I think I still have trauma from it when I was a kid because I saw it too early and I was like, that fucking craze fucked me up.
I don't even know if I've seen. Maybe I've seen
Oh,
it
it's
once.
pretty scary.
Yeah.
I love it.
Interesting.
I'm
Well,
into horror, so yeah.
This next one might be a hard one.
Empire moves on
for the-
regardless. Sorry, GPD.
Empire moves on. Sorry, buddy.
Got it.
This one is gonna. Well, not really for me, but
For me, it's
we'll say what it is first. We'll just go around the room.
so it's Raiders of the Lost Ark versus Kill Bill, and my pick was Kill Bill.
Mine was Raiders.
Kill Bill.
Yeah.
Holy hell!
This is
Holy
fun.
Yeah, Tarantino.
Andy, this is fun doing it with 3 people.
yeah, it's great. This one should be the layup of all layups.
Yeah.
Tremors versus Jaws. Everybody, do I even really have to say it?
But here's the thing, though, man. it's Jaws. It's
Yeah,
Jaws.
it's
I have to
Jaws
do
for me,
Jaws.
too.
Of course.
Jaws.
Thank God.
But
we agreed on
honestly-
one.
But here's the
I
thing.
have a fucking Jaws tattoo.
Oh, really?
But
Yeah.
you're thinking. But here's the thing. Tremors, super rewatchable, dude.
Yeah.
Agreed.
It was a way
but-
harder pick for me than it should have been. Like then in
Ah,
your
it's a
head.
no-brainer.
Oh, dude, Tremors. Here's
It's-
the thing. You just can't do
Dude,
that.
wait till we
Like,
get to the fucking the round of 32. I want to jump out the window with some of these matchups.
I know.
Why are you making me choose? All right,
No.
GB, take the next one.
Then we got Last Crusade and Ocean's 11.
This is easy for me.
I mean, easy for me.
Oh.
But they're both very.
Oh no, we might be different on this. What's
Yeah,
your-
we
what-
might be.
Oh, what? Sorry, go ahead. What's yours?
I'm Ocean's 11.
Oh my God!
Ocean's
You're 11. Yeah.
Yes, 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 yes.
That's the fuck I'm talking about.
I mean, Crusade is my favorite one in the series. It's so rewatchable for me. It's one of my most rewatched movies. Ocean's 11 is too. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The bracket's crazy. Some of
Yes.
these matchups.
And what's the next one, Gordon?
Star Wars and Silence of the Lambs, I'm guessing. because it just says silence.
Yes.
Yes, that's what it is. And what was your pick?
I went Silence of the Lamb.
Silence.
Silence.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, baby.
All right.
Thank God.
Star
I was like,
Wars.
I can't lose 2 of my top 5 movies in
No.
4
Also,
seconds.
they're throwing in Star Wars a couple times. They did Empire and
know.
then now this. It's a little crazy. Andy, what's the next one?
We have Jurassic Park versus The Hunt for Red October. I went.
That's an easy one, I
Jurassic
think.
Park all the way.
Yeah, Gordon.
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
Yeah,
That's
that
an
was
easy
easy.
one.
All right.
But the next
Ooh,
one,
I'm a little worried.
I know the next one. Mine is
Okay.
The Fugitive versus Tombstone.
Yeah.
Fugitive.
Fugitive.
I want Tombstone.
Oh, I had a
Whoa!
feeling. I had a
Yeah.
feeling somebody was going to go
Western.
Tombstone.
Keeping with the Western theme for the
Gordon,
episode.
he's your Huckleberry over there.
So we got the
Fugitive's like a top 10er for me.
So should we?
I rewatched Fugitive so much.
Really?
Yeah.
Should we do these? Should we move over to the next one, or should we keep going
Let's
down?
go right
the
down
line?
the order. We'll go
Okay.
round of 64 first.
And here we go. This is the next
This
one's a
one's
gimme.
easy,
The next
yeah.
one's a gimme.
Yes, Die
but
Hard.
But it's introducing a player. It is introducing a
Yeah.
player in this
It's
game.
your 1 seed in this bracket.
Yep.
It's your 1 seed.
This is a easy one. It's Die Hard versus Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
We don't even have to.
I think I've seen Hot Fuzz once.
I don't want to disrespect Die Hard
I
by.
like Simon Pegg.
So do I. But come on, you're
Okay.
not even. Come on.
I actually went for the upset on this one. I went Hot
No, you
Fuzz.
didn't.
Yes, I
you
did.
Stop being a contrarian. No, you
No,
fucking did.
you
Yeah, I
didn't.
did. I was like, again,
Come on.
rewatchable. I was like, Die Hard is great.
Rewatchable?
It is. I'm
Holy
thinking about
hell.
me hungover, going like, all right, what's the movie? Because Die Hard always.
I don't even think it's it's not even my favorite Die Hard.
It's
What's
not
your
his
favorite?
Three.
The 3 is his favorite. Die Hard.
Okay.
Dude,
Vengeance.
Die Hard. It checks both boxes with me with this one. I think it's a great.
Really
movie.
rewatchable.
It's super rewatchable. I've seen it probably. I would
Or
say
out.
50,
Yeah.
70 times.
I think that's the reason why I went against it. 'Cause
I
I've seen
know,
it so many times.
I know
Maybe.
I know what
Yeah.
you're saying,
Yeah.
but it's still you put it up against Hot Fuzz.
Yeah.
And, you maybe could have gotten me on something. Which
Yeah.
is, there's a couple like you put Oceans up against Die Hard. Maybe you would have gotten me, which
Yeah.
is going to maybe happen.
It's about to happen. I
all
can't
right.
wait for this.
Yeah.
Well,
Anyway,
just for time's sake, let's keep moving.
yeah. Let's keep moving.
Surprising pick from GBB over there.
Here's a big one. The next
Really?
one.
I'd not even taught really.
Oh
close
no,
for
the
me.
next one. Oh no, not the next one. For me, well, here's the thing. We might differ on this one
Okay.
too.
Roadhouse versus Total Recall.
And Andy,
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
I want Total Recall.
Oh,
I had a feeling Gordon was going to go Total Recall.
Ro-
It was closer than I thought, but I
3
went.
boobs.
Yeah, it was. I know.
3 boobs.
Yeah. And also the Mars freak out. You can't
Yes.
really beat.
Yeah.
The no oxygen on Mars, cartoonish eyes bugging out of the
Oh,
head.
Like I
Man.
said, it was harder. I went with Roadhouse at the end.
Yeah. The Who Framed Roger Rabbit makeup styles of
Yep.
This one's also not very hard for me.
the next one is
Read us off.
Conair versus Red Dawn.
And I'm assuming
Easy
we
for me.
mean original Red Dawn 1984.
Yes,
obviously.
yeah, obviously.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know
Easy.
that was going to that
Easy.
with that Red Dawn. I was like, all right, cool. All right, I went with Conair.
Conair
Yes,
anyway.
yeah.
What?
Dude,
Red
Conair.
Dawn.
Rewatchable?
Yeah.
No, then you're not being truthful to the topic of the.
I don't
of
think
the-
I am. I'm being truthful to myself.
Dude, Red Dawn's not as rewatchable. Conair, talk about fun. Talk
Yes,
about
it's a
really
fun
wonderful
I
movie.
don't hate it,
I've seen
but
that
I
a ton of
love Red
times.
Dawn. I love the original Red Dawn. You
But-
got OG cast of fucking all those young actors.
Flip test. Which one are you going back to? More, faster.
Red Dawn.
No way.
That's why
No
I
way.
hated it. All right.
Conair is like
Conair's
when
moving on.
When you know the story is about Nick Cage just rewriting the script on the fly and just making up new plot
I didn't know
lines.
that.
And then, that's what he did. I talked about it once on the show.
Well,
Wow.
we got another Nick Cage matchup here.
Yep.
I was almost going to say Face Off because Face Off versus The Rock.
I honestly, this is a hard one for me.
It was hard.
What'd you
Gordon?
go with, Gordon?
I went with The Rock.
I went
Andy?
with Face Off.
I went with Face Off.
Oh, okay. All right.
Because you know what? 'Cause
Travolta,
I'm thinking
push it over.
rewatchable. Yeah, it just. I think when they
It's
say
ridiculous.
rewatchable,
Yeah.
in certain instances, what they mean is a tinge of shittiness.
Yeah,
A
Conair.
tinge. You know what I mean? Like
That's why I went with the opposite way because I was like, all right. I know it's shitty.
The Rock is
Gordon
like
goes
a straight up
against the
good
grain
action
here.
movie. Right?
Gordon likes to go against the grains.
Yeah,
Ew.
but it's good for the
It's
match.
great for the matchups. All right, Face Off moving
but
on.
The Rock is so quality,
Yeah.
but man, oh man, Face Off, just how ridiculous it is. I would go. You put those in front of me.
Most
If I was a mouse, that would be the pellet would be there. That's
Oh,
where
yeah.
I would go right
Yeah.
now. That made no sense, but you know what I mean. Anyway, the
Gordon,
next
you
one.
wanna do,
You want to do the next one? Gordon?
Aliens versus Gladiator. I might surprise you guys again. Gladiator.
No,
No.
Gladiator.
All 3?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, cool.
Here's the thing. It would have been tougher if it was Alien. It's Aliens specifically, the second one.
Yes.
Not even close for me.
And Gladiator.
I would have
is-
chosen Gladiator over the original Alien too because I just kind of think
I'll
it's a
tell you
little-
right now, Gladiator is a fucking contender
It's
in
a-
this thing
yes.
for me.
Yeah.
This
Yes.
might prevail
Not in
for
this
me. I don't
bracket.
know. Not in that bracket. No, what do you mean?
I don't think it's going to make it out of this fucking bracket.
Really? You don't think so? I don't know yet.
Stuff. But once we get, yeah,
Okay.
I'm so excited for next week because we do the other side, and the other side I wanted to fucking slip my wrist on a few. I go, please don't make me choose. Please don't make me choose. But Gladiator moves on. This next one, kind of a weird one: Crimson Tide versus the Bourne Identity. I went with Bourne.
I went Bourne.
I went Bourne also.
Yeah, all
right,
right, cool. That's
yeah.
easy.
I
And the
don't
next
love
one,
Christmas. Man.
this one was
Sean Connery's getting shit on.
He
Not
really
moving
is.
on at all.
He used to hit women.
Sometimes you get on a bad team. You know, you're only as good as your teammates.
Dead Scottish prick.
Now I got an issue. I don't even know what Crank is. This next
It's a Jason Statham movie. This is a gimme.
Crank
It's a
versus
gimme.
T2. Was that the one where he has to like keep his heart rate up?
Yes, yeah.
Of the fucking
It's a
speed
gimme.
of
Yes.
T2.
human speed.
Well, yeah,
You
exactly.
got to keep your heart rate above 50 miles.
He's the bus.
Yeah, yeah.
That's a great way to put it. And then
They
Crank
probably
is
pitched
human.
it that way.
They probably did.
Fake if you got a bus, but a human.
Guys, think about speed, but there's no bus. Jason Statham is the bus. And there's no Sandra Bullock.
Green light it.
What about
man.
you? You're T2, right?
Yeah, I went
Two
T2.
all the way.
Okay, then we can go. Are we back on top? We're back on top, everybody.
No,
No, we got one last
more.
one.
Oh,
Last one.
We
in
got
the
Starship Troopers and Fifth Element.
I gotta be honest. I never saw Fifth Element.
Really?
Yeah,
It's pretty fun because
I know
I
people
went
love
with
it.
Fifth.
Yeah,
I
you
went with Fifth.
It's fun.
Yeah, I
It's
feel
great.
like that would win if I
Good
did
Bruce
it.
Willis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So should we start from the bottom up? Should we keep going? Or you want to start from the top?
Let's start from the top. Yeah, we got
All
to
right.
keep going.
All right.
So Andy knows our picks because you haven't jotted down.
I got them all. I got them in order.
Let's
right.
go.
So
from-
we have. So we have Princess Bride versus Empire Strikes Back.
right now. I'll do it live.
Yeah, well, we have to.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Picks are different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What do you think, Gordon?
I'm going Princess Bride.
Princess Bride.
Wow.
What you and Empire? You're gonna Empire?
Well, I didn't have. I had Empire beating Butch Cassidy on my original. This is like when you're filling out March Madness and you go, "Yeah, my Final Four team was done in round one."
Yeah, mine's pretty much it's a
Princess
wrap.
Bride is a
All
big one
right.
for me.
All right. Well,
Then what's the
it's
next
gonna
one?
lose soon.
Uh,
We have Kill Bill versus Jaws.
Ooh,
I know Andy's pick.
Jaws.
I want Kill Bill.
I gotta be honest. I thought about it, and to be honest,
Thank God.
what I wanted to, pick,
I would have stormed away.
I would have.
I would have ended the podcast right now.
The kid has a jaw tattoo. on him.
It's the perfect fucking movie.
Here is the thing. My first inclination was to go Kill Bill because I'm
Yeah.
like, rewatchable. I'm thinking of the rewatchable theme. Because Jaws is
The
such
most
a
rewatchable movie of all time.
Did you hear his voice?
I watch it like 4 times a year.
But
I watch it quarterly.
when I really match up watches in my head, Jaws wins.
Okay.
Thank God.
Jaws definitely wins.
Evans for little
But
girls.
but it's not. Once again, it had more of a standing. And like
Yeah.
that was a gimme for Andy.
Yeah.
Not a gimme for me.
Wow. So here's the thing. Now we have Ocean's 11 versus Silence of the Lambs.
This is a
This
gimme.
is a real tough
Yeah.
one, but I think I'm going to be the odd man out again
Rewatchable.
here.
Remember,
I
we
know.
watched- yeah, okay,
I love Silence of the Lambs.
Gordon,
I went with Ocean's 11.
Ocean's
I
11.
knew what. I know. It's breaking my heart.
You know how much I like Ocean's 11.
Silence is a top fiver for me. I love
Ocean's 11 is in that category of movie.
I've seen it probably more than Silence of the Lambs, but I love Silence of the Lambs more. But I know that's not necessarily what we're doing here.
How many times did you get a remake that's better than the original? That's
yeah.
an absolute thing that happened with Ocean's 11, and it should be a huge accomplishment for a movie.
That's true. So Ocean's 11 beating Silence of the Lambs.
Okay, here we go.
Jurassic Park versus The Fugitive.
For me, this is easy.
Me too.
Gordon, what's your pick?
I went with Jurassic Park.
Andy?
Fugitive.
Fugitive.
Yeah.
Ah, all right.
Fugitive's another top
Fugitive
10
I
for me.
watched so many times.
It's
Jurassic
on
Park,
AMC a lot, and I stick with it every time.
It's fantastic. And also, how much more did that Mulaney bit just make you be into Fugitive?
Oh.
You switch the samples when he acts out. You ever watch the Mulaney special? at
I'm
the end?
sorry, my friend Richard Gilmore's not feeling very well.
He goes, for what? So you can have
Prevacin.
Okay,
right, thank
Fugitive.
God
We're
Fugitive
Fugitive
was
fans,
on.
baby. The next one.
We have Die Hard versus Roadhouse.
I could see Roadhouse being a contender, but it's not overall. Die Hard.
Die Hard for me.
It would definitely be Die Hard.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, Die Hard moving on here. Now we got a cage A cage matchup.
I knew my answer right away for this.
Conair versus Face Off.
This is a cage match.
Yeah.
Yes.
Andy, what'd you pick?
Well, in this one, I'm gonna have to go Conair.
And Gordon.
I went Conair.
Conair moves
That's
on.
that's a unanimous.
Only needs 2. This
And
one's
guys,
pretty
just to
simple.
remind you guys, before we put the episode out, we will tweet out these brackets so you guys can play along at home.
Yes.
And the next matchup, this is a good one, but no, this is a gimme for me.
Gladiator versus Bourne Identity.
This is easy.
Gladiator
For me.
Gladiator.
Gladiator moving on, an easy win. Moving on, T2 versus Fifth Element. I think we're all in agreement here.
Fifth Element.
Woo! Never mind.
Yes.
Stop the presses.
I know you guys were going to go.
Well, I think T2 is moving on anyway.
T2. Yeah, it has to be.
All right, let's get down to business. The Sweet 16. Oh, no, wait. Yeah, the Sweet 16. No, the fucking.
Yeah,
Sweet 16.
Sweet 16.
Technically.
Yep.
First 8 of the Sweet
First
16.
yeah.
Yep.
We have Princess Bride versus Jaws. If you fuckers.
I know Gordon did it. I
Yeah.
know he did it.
yeah, I did.
I know. Here's the thing. Dude,
Come on, Sean.
Shut
I
the
think
fuck up.
I want to
Come
be
on,
honest
Sean.
about this. I've been friends with this man for
I
a
know.
long time.
I know.
I
can hear
honestly
it.
think my fear of what would happen to me is like is one of the
would
reasons that I
I'll talk to you. I would just go, when we'll finish taping, but then I need a break. There's no ill will, but I need some time away.
don't
It'd
worry.
be like at the 4 where I go, hey, Dad's moving out for a little while.
You have your own place somewhere.
You can see him during spots.
I had to do Jaws.
Thank
Went-
God.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
because
the
I think
Lord.
about what really did it for me was if I do think about the rewatches in my life, I did rewatch Jaws more than I rewatched
okay.
the Princess Bride.
Yes.
I sought out Jaws more than I sought out Princess Bride. But you were Princess Bride, right?
What's Princess Bride?
Yeah, I love that you're a Princess Bride fan.
Yeah.
I love it because he needs to know how great of a movie.
Yes, it's a great movie.
Whatever.
I think it's a great
fantastic.
movie. Like, give it a second chance.
All right.
Just
I
consider
know.
what they were dealing with. Okay, so here we go.
Ocean's 11 versus The Fugitive. Gordon, kick us off.
Ocean's 11.
Ooh.
Ocean's 11.
Wow, it moves on. I love both of those. I'm not mad at Ocean's 11 for moving on, but I love
Your pick was Fugitive?
Well, we're doing it
Well,
live.
I know, but what would you have been?
I think Fugitive because I just love it. I just love Fugitive so much. I do. It's such a it truly has that rewatchability factor for me.
Yeah.
When it's
Yeah.
on, I go, I gotta watch it.
Yeah, it's great.
I'm gonna be late.
Yeah, exactly.
Die Hard versus Conair.
It's actually harder than you'd think. It's harder.
for me.
Conair is very rewatchable.
Yep.
But I went to the numbers again in my head and Die Hard. Die
Yeah,
Hard.
definitely would have been
won
Die
that
Hard.
one.
I agree.
Was it a gimme for you, Gordon?
Yeah. Oh,
If we got that far, yes.
Yeah, if it got, yeah.
DH here. Gladiator versus T2. Woo! Couple heavyweights here.
But this for me, definitely. But I told you, one of them is a big contender for me. Gladiator took it from
Yeah, it would be Gladiator.
Wow.
me. Yeah.
I think in rewatchability, I pick Gladiator 2 because
This a rough one.
T2 kind of it dates itself a little
Yes,
bit.
you're
where
right.
You watch back and you go, yeah, it's kind of corny in a way.
Yep.
One time, Eric Newman told me it was his favorite movie of all time. I almost kicked him in the face. I went, "You're all time? Like over,
You
like better than Goodfellas?
You
Like,
brought it up to multiple people, like in person.
yeah,
like
like he
this
wasn't.
fucking
Like Eric
guy.
Newman wasn't even there, and I'm like, yo, did you hear this fucking clown thinks T2 is his favorite fucking? He's not even there to defend himself.
Oh man, you didn't like
Wow.
that scene where the roses fall on the ground and the shotgun appears?
I'm saying, but over like Fargo,
I'm just fucking.
like
Right? No. Yeah.
you know, over
He's
The
like-
Godfather.
Eric Newman's like, I like cinema, like Terminator 2.
He's like, for
like-
me, it's like,
he's
you
like-
know, T2, Citizen Kane. Yo, what?
There we go.
All right.
Oh.
I'm scared. I'm very scared. Jaws versus Ocean's 11. You know where I'm going. It's Jaws. It's
This holy shit, man. This is where
well, Gordon.
For me, I'm an 11 man myself.
Oh. Think about the two movies, just side to side.
I have to think about.
Are
I've been
you
going.
bargaining?
I've been going. This. I gotta
Think
get
about your dad.
You brought a dead dad into it. You
him. He's determined to win for Jaws.
And he just starts singing. He goes, "Take your time, do it right."
And the cat's in the cradle and the seal.
You son of a bitch!
Think what he would want you to do.
Oh my God.
I can't do it. I can't. God, I'm so upset that I'm doing this to you.
Wow.
You're one of my best buddies.
Listen, this is business, not personal.
Yeah.
Apparently.
These are mafia rules.
Well, we had a good run on the DYM podcast, everybody.
Rewatchability. I had to go Ocean's
Holy
11.
shit.
Not movie. You must.
It's not about the movie.
It's not about the movie.
I
It's about
know.
rewatchability.
Rewatchability.
So I went Oceans, and Jaws had a great run. It had a great run. You held on.
Elite Eight.
Because here's the thing. I have another upset coming up from a personal upset for me coming up.
Well, we have Die Hard versus Gladiator.
Ooh,
For me, it's the same thing. Where it's
That's
really
rough.
hard.
It's a tough
really
one.
hard.
that is really rough.
And I picked the thing I think I wouldn't have picked, which you can probably understand.
You picked Gladiator, didn't you?
I picked Gladiator.
Same.
You picked Gladiator.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
well, my
picturing.
vote doesn't even matter, but what? This is a tough one.
What would you pick?
I don't even
then?
love Gladiator that much, but it is a good rewatch.
Rewatchability. Because here's the thing. Gladiator is one of those movies.
And again,
that I do like, but I find myself shocked at the amount of times I've been like, I'm rewatching this now. I'm gonna I've
Right.
sought it out on like HBO Max, whatever it's on, and I've been like, I'm rewatching this.
Yeah, say if you were locked in a hotel room and you had to choose between the two, which one would you go with? You're locked in. This is the only thing you're gonna watch for the next 4 hours.
if it were Die Hard 3, I'd have a harder time, but I'm moving on with Gladiator.
All right.
Okay. Die Hard 3 is
Gladiator's
that's a big one for
I
you.
can't believe Gladiator's over Jaws.
Andy,
Crime against humanity. I mean, it's one of the most perfect movies ever made. Ocean's 11. Brad, is he eating a cheeseburger every time he's on scene? Cool. Heist. Great.
Some people like,
Yeah.
Bernie Mac over
Here's the thing. Here's the thing now. I'm taking it over Gladiator.
okay,
That's
so
mine.
We're at that point.
This one's going to the championship game.
This is the
Final
championship
Four.
round on the one side.
And next week,
Guys, next week will be the second half of this.
And the winner.
We this is a blast.
we're having Gordon back.
Can we do this every episode?
I know. Brackets are fun.
Brackets are really fun.
Gordon's going to come back next week. We're going to so you got to send somebody to the finals.
Okay, so we have Ocean's 11.
It's
versus
one vote for me.
Gladiator. I know my pick. I'd like to hear Gordon's first.
All right.
What?
I'll wait.
I'm going with Ocean's 11 because it's a fun fucking film for me, and I'm just like every single time. I don't care how many times I've seen it. If it's on, I'm in.
You better fucking pick Ocean's 11 after you.
You killed a
If
shark.
you think, because you know what that means? That means that you think Gladiator could have beaten Jaws. That's what that means.
Oh, you know what? Ocean's 11.
Thank
You know what? That's a good. You know what? That's a really good point. That's a really good point.
And he was like, "You killed my shark."
That's,
You know what?
yeah. We're gonna need a bigger pod.
I got those oxygen tanks.
That's from filling out brackets so many years for so long. You go, well, you got to look down the line. That means you think so and so is going to beat so and so.
And you know what? I'm
Science to
actually
this shit.
what you saying that I'm glad. Okay, so for the one side, Ocean's 11, and I think that's actually for what this
super
is.
rewatchable movie.
For what this is a great pick. Like
Buddy.
we're not assholes who made Starship Troopers go the whole way. You know what I'm saying?
Could you imagine?
So, guys, to be continued. Next week, we will finish up this bracket. This was
Gordon, you're coming back?
absolute
Yeah, I'll
blast.
definitely
beautiful,
come back to this. I got to find out how this ends.
Dude,
Yeah.
we cannot thank you enough for doing this. Is so much fun.
Absolutely.
Guys, before we go, Gordon, please do this.
Plugs.
What plug away? Social media, gigs coming up.
Oh,
Let people know.
I'm Gordon Baker Bone. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter at Baker Bone, BakerBone. I have a podcast, The Bad Advice Show. It's on Spotify. Also, I co-host sometimes with Brandon Collins and Justin for the Medium Popcorn. We also rate movies also.
Nice.
Fantastic. And guys, the show has its own social media. It's at the DYM Podcast on Instagram and Twitter. That's at the DYM Podcast. The Laugh Button also is at the Laugh Button on both platforms. I am at Shawnee Time, SeanyTime, and Andrew.
At Andy Fiori, AndyFiori. Big show this weekend, Sunday. Sunday, August 15th, Stone Harbor, New Jersey. My buddies are going to be playing music. It's going to be a fun comedy show. We're going to party. It's going to be a great day at the beach. Come down. Come wherever you're from, Jersey Shore, PA area, Philly. It's going to be a fun show at the Harbor Square Theater, Sunday, August 15th in Stone Harbor. I really want to sell this thing out because it'll be fun. And it's in a fucking theater. It's in a movie theater. It's for guys like us.
I love shows.
It's perfect.
Yeah, I love shows at theaters. I think it's a great seating arrangement.
Thank you to Mike Mushy Suarez, our producer. You can follow him at Mike V. Suarez at all the socials. Anything else, Mikey?
I'll be in Texas at the end of the month doing comedy at
Woo!
San Antonio and the Creek in the Cave in Austin.
Awesome.
Baby girl.
And guys, follow us on the. Make sure to subscribe, rate, and review to the show if you enjoyed this. We have a blast every week. We can't thank you enough for listening, and we will see you soon. Bye bye, everybody.